Time to kick off third down, back to the NFL, and there has been a tuna sighting in South Florida. Bill Parcells officially introduced as the Dolphins' Executive VP of Football Operations. Here's what he had to say.
I have no ambition to coach, and I have no ambition to be a general manager. I'm hopeful that I can oversee that structure and allow them to do things, those people in those positions to do things that are common to those positions.
No ambition of being a coach, no ambition of being a general manager. Can Bill Parcells be a hands-off executive in South Florida, Skip?
Time out. Let me get this straight now. Bill Parcells is saying, I'm not going to be the coach or the general manager, so what exactly is he going to be? I'm guessing that at age 66, Jalen, Bill Parcells is trying to take a little pressure off himself by creating this whole new position I've never heard of, which is Master Advisor, above it all, for, by the way, about reportedly $4 million a year. And you know what? Won't work. Sounds great, won't work, because what does Bill Parcells know deep down? That if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. So I say after 3 or 4 games, which could be 3 or 4 losses, Bill Parcells will be acting an awful lot like the head coach and the general manager all at once.
And you're right, but it won't take 3 or 4 games. It's only going to take after 1 more game.
All right, I'm with you.
The day after this season is over, not only is he not going to be the coach or the GM, he's going to do all 3. He's going to coach, GM, and be the VP. They wouldn't bring him in paying $4 million not to be the head of the football operations. He's going to oversee every move that's being done personnel-wise in the front office and on that field, because he knows his name and his stamp is going to be on this Miami Dolphins.
Okay, and in your NBA travels, have you ever seen anything quite like this where somebody tried to be the overseer of the entire operation?
Absolutely. It happens in the NBA all of the time, but the bottom line is when you build Parcells, you're known for reclamation projects. He brought along with the Jets, the Giants, and you know what he's done with the Patriots. So now he gets to shop for the groceries, as he mentioned.
He can't help himself, can he? I mean, after all these years, a leopard, can he change his spots?
Well, I think he'd like to try to, because I think that Dallas thing nearly put him away the last 4 years. But it's just not possible, because it won't work unless he's got his hands all over it, which he soon will.
Look at the core of the Patriots right now. Look at the core of the Dallas Cowboys. Those Pro Bowlers were products of Bill Parcells.
I'm with you.
All right, next topic, very juicy, very interesting. Monday night, the Broncos lost to the Chargers, but all the talk afterwards surrounded this. Trash talking, specifically by quarterback Philip Rivers. It happened after Jay Cutler threw an incompletion on 4th down, and then the jawing began. The other guys involved, by the way, Sean Phillips and Matt Wilhelm, but Philip Rivers is the focus of all this. Jalen, what are the boundaries? Are there lines you can cross as far as trash talking is concerned?
The only boundaries in trash talking is don't get too personal, like talk about my family or talk about my mom. Other than that, there are no boundaries.
You're okay with this?
Absolutely. The reason
you're good with this one too?
I'm very good with it. The reason why there's no boundaries is why I'm talking trash to you for a couple of reasons. A, I want to get you off your game. B, I'm a trash talker.
Which you never do, by the way, but go ahead.
B, I'm a trash talker anyway. And C, I'm going to say anything I can to win that game that day.
Between 2 quarterbacks. From one quarterback to another at practically the end.
I love it, because as a fan, what do you sit back and say? Oh, these guys, you talk about a guy that plays with no passion, plays with no fire, plays with no heart. So I like when guys are into it. You're enemies between enemy lines, so I love it.
Okay, let's go big picture here. Brett Favre can talk trash with the worst of them, and Dan Marino could too, but they had earned the right to do so. They back up the right to do so. And I don't believe, I could be wrong about this, but I don't believe that either Favre nor Marino ever went out of his way to talk trash to the opposing quarterback, because there's just an unwritten rule between quarterbacks that you just respect each other, because the position is so difficult to play. And this is just my theory. In this case, I think Philip Rivers is a little jealous, a little envious of a contemporary quarterback in Jay Cutler, who is already getting acclaim that Philip Rivers is not getting, because most people think he is the Achilles heel of the San Diego Chargers.
Well, last time I checked, the San Diego Chargers are going to the playoffs.
Okay,
the Denver Broncos are not.
That is correct.
So he has no reason to be jealous of Jay Cutler.
But has Philip Rivers backed it up?
But also, I don't like the theory when people talk about you have to be a great player, a superstar, a Hall of Famer to talk trash. Only thing you need to do to talk trash is have a mouth.
Okay, would you talk trash to a player who you regard as better than you?
Of course, I talked trash to Michael Jordan.
Did you?
When I played against him? Absolutely.
And what did he score, 54?
No, what he did is he elbowed me in the chest. That's what he did. And we talked trash for about 6 or 7 seasons when I played against him.
So
not a good idea.
Real quick, Champ Bailey called Phillip Rivers classless. Do you agree?
Just so far he is, because he has not earned that right.
All right, next topic, college football. Texas-Arizona State last night. The Longhorns did pull out the Holiday Bowl victory. Despite a pretty strange play in the second quarter, Chris Jesse is a member of Mac Brown's staff, and Chris Jesse was the guy on the sidelines right there. He came off the field after this fumble and touched the ball, it appeared. It took away what would have been a huge turnover for the Longhorns and set up a touchdown for Arizona State. Now again, Texas wins this game, but Chris Jesse, Mac Brown's stepson, Skip, what is your reaction to this?
Mac and his stepson are very, very lucky that Texas ran away with a game that some people didn't think they could win on the football field, because this was nepotism run amok. Because this could have made the stepfather look so bad, Jalen, because this kid is not an assistant coach. He's on the support staff. He's just wearing burnt orange on the sideline just to be on the sideline. And for him, even though he thought it was an incomplete forward pass, to actually jump onto the field and come, I don't know if he touched it or not, I can't really tell, but even to get close to touching it is completely out of control. It's acting like some crazed fan on the sideline. And even though Mac went out of his way on ESPN to defend his stepson, you can bet that they had a little talk after this game, and it will not happen.
I got some advice for Chris Jesse. You want to be on the staff? Stay off of the field. Okay?
Exactly.
Why was he that close to the sideline?
You stay off the field to play. Yes, like you mentioned, if they don't blow this game away, he's going to be the scapegoat. He's going to be getting a lot of mail. He's going to be getting talked about in other ways besides being Coach Mac Brown's stepson.
Never seen anything quite like it.
My goodness. And you could watch his expression. They kept going back to him throughout the game, and he almost felt sorry for him.
Yeah, his nose started to get red like Rudolph.
Got it.
All right, guys, thank you very much. That wraps up Third Down. Coming up, how would the Patriots fare against the greatest teams ever? Skip and Jalen will assess how they stack up. That's coming your way in Fourth Down.
I shall now read the last will and testament. The deceased leaves all of his money, property, and other valuables to